Okay, well, surprise, we are early today. We are early today, as you may have noticed. Let me get started here. Yeah, really early today. So normally, hi everybody. Normally I am live. Let me know if I'm loud enough, okay? Let me know if I'm loud enough. And we are normally on at 3 p.m. Eastern, but I'm going early today. So first I want to apologize to all my friends who are going to be tuning in later today and finding out that I already went live a couple hours early. So I'm going early today because I have an event for my high school band. If you guys know me, if you've tuned in before, you know that I'm a high school band director. And we had a busy band weekend, but later on this afternoon we have a fundraiser event from 1 to 4 or 5 p.m. So I'm going to be busy all afternoon, which is why I'm doing a little bit of an early show. So if you missed the show, I apologize. But if you're here now, it's good to see you. And the good news is maybe with, well, we'll see how many people tune in, but I can definitely try to get to all of your questions. If this is your first time here, what we do is I have my instruments here, my flute, my clarinet. What do I have? A tenor sax, an alto sax. I have a trumpet. I can play some songs for you. We can play some songs together, and I answer questions. So let's jump right in. We want to say hi to Mia Ann, who's one of our favorite people, who's here every week. And Mia wants a jazz version of In the Hall of the Mountain King. All right, well, let's see. I happen to have, now you said on saxophone. I have my tenor saxophone out. And you know what? I want to say hi to some people while I'm getting ready here. We're going to say hi to Lena. Thank you for being here. And hi to PKP Gaming YouTube. And hi to Anna Waddle. And I know sometimes you guys tell me your actual names besides your screen names, and I try to remember them, but I don't always do a good job of remembering. So hello to Sam, who's in the UK. And Arnaldo, who is a good friend of ours, who is tuning in at our early time. And Christine is also here, Christine Tom. So keep your questions coming. We're going to go back to Mia's request, okay? And I'll tell you about my band weekend. Might even show you guys some pictures. And tell me what you did this weekend. Did you do anything fun, relaxing, exciting? So I'm going to play In the Hall of the Mountain King. Now, actually, if you guys want to play this song, you can go to my website, Dr. Selfridge Music. By the way, today's show is going to be just a little bit abbreviated. We're going to go about 45 minutes today. Okay, usually we go about an hour. But if you go to drselfridgemusic.com, let me go ahead and show you this. There we are. And am I here? There I am. Hello. And we go to live stream band, and we go to classical melodies. And I'm going to put this link in the chat. So let's come back here for a second. Okay, I'm going to put this link in the chat so you all can follow along. Boom. So the link is now in the chat. You should be seeing it, I hope. And here's where we are. So we're going to do a jazz version. Mia Ann has requested a jazz version of In the Hall of the Mountain King, which is a really well-known melody. So let me go to saxophone here under classical melodies, alto sax. You can click on your instrument. And let's scroll down. number 4. Okay? And I think I think there might be a typo in here, but we'll try to play it, and if there's a wrong note, I'll correct it. Ah, there it is. So this note right here, guys, the third note in the second measure should be one note higher. It should be the same note as the first note in the measure. So sorry about that little mistake. I will one of these days get around to correcting that. But let's play it just straight as it is written, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4. Next line. That's the note we fixed. Next line. Beginning. The DS right here, dal segno, this should probably just be a DC because it goes back to the beginning. Oh well. It says DS al fine, dal segno. Go back to the sign symbol and then stop at the fine. So let's do that. Back to the beginning. 1, 2, 3, 4. Next line. Now this is pretty close to the original. The original goes on and does some more complicated things. But okay, so we're going to do a jazz version. Here we go. Jazz version. So for jazz, we're going to take the eighth notes and give them what's called a swing, which means instead of each eighth note being evenly divided in the beat, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, we put a feeling of triplets underneath the division of the beat. Ba, 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 ba. And we go, the first two triplets become the first part of the beat, and the third triplet becomes the other part of the beat. That's a little confusing, I know, but it's just basically this. Do da do da do da do do da do do da do, just like that. Do da do or do la do. There's different syllables people use. All right, here we go. Swing version. Try it with me. Do da do ba do ba do. 1, 2, 3, 4. Beginning. I'll just stop it there. Okay, that was a great suggestion and kind of fun to play. So let's go back. Thank you, Mia Ann, for that suggestion. Let's go back and whoops, let me turn my little mini box off. Bye-bye. Okay. So PK Gaming YouTube plays the flute. That's awesome. Guys, feel free to jump in with requests. Now, Renan Camargo says, take a look at Altamiro Hvarhol for flute. And Pising, I'm not sure exactly how to pronounce that. Pisinguinha for sax. 2 greatest Brazilian musicians. Wow. All right, I want to check these folks out. So I'm going to go to YouTube. I always like learning about new musicians. So I'm going to just check this out. Altamiro. Oh, here it is. It's coming up. Flute. Let's see what we have here. All right. You guys want to listen to some of this? Here we go. Here we go. Let me turn up my sound a little bit. Oh, if you're wondering why it sounds weird, it's because I've got my smooth jazz going on in the background. That's why. Okay, here we go. Yeah. This is great. Thank you for this recommendation. I'm gonna save that tab on my computer and listen to more of that later. Okay, let's say hello to some more people. Caleb is here. Hello to Caleb. Christine Tom is wishing me a happy belated birthday. Thank you very much. My birthday was, boy, I guess it's 2 weeks ago now, September 23rd. It's a great birthday for a musician to have. A lot of great musicians have September 23rd as a birthday. So Mia Ann says, I did 2 violin lessons yesterday. Oh, you did like a double. Okay. Did a makeup lesson and my actual lesson. And you have day off tomorrow. So our school also has the day off. Our students have the day off, but the teachers, like me, we still have to go into school. It's called an in-service day. And we have meetings and things like that. Okay, question. Is the bass clarinet, this is from Caleb Fields, is the bass clarinet fingered the same way as a normal clarinet? How many octaves lower is the bass clarinet from normal B flat? Okay, so here's the B flat clarinet. Well, they're all in the key of B flat, most of them. But we call it the soprano clarinet. The bass clarinet is twice the size of this, and it's 1 octave lower. So if I play this, let me give you a different example. If I play this open, that's a G, and it sounds like that here on the soprano clarinet. But if I did this same fingering on a bass clarinet, it would sound like this, an octave lower, okay? And actually, maybe I'll show you a picture, guys. I'll take a picture this week or take a recording. We have, at our high school, we have a contrabass clarinet, which is, I believe it's double the size. Yeah, it must be. It's double the size of a bass clarinet. And so it's an octave lower than bass clarinet. And we have a student who just started playing that this week. It's big, it's taller. If you stand next to it, I'm pretty sure it's taller than me, or at least as tall as me. So it's a very cool sound. So Sam says, I just started to learn the clarinet, found my YouTube helpful. How crucial is biting down with your top teeth? All right, this is a great question. So I would say, Sam, I don't know what the percentage is, but most teachers and players that I know play with a top teeth embouchure. Top teeth, bottom lip. For me, it gives me, I feel, better control over the mouthpiece and the sound. There are some people, particularly classical players, who play with a double lip embouchure, where the top lip is actually over the teeth, and it's like this. I can't even really do it. But some players play with a double lip embouchure, and they love it. I think that's sort of a special technique that you would learn as you're getting more of a professional, if you really want to do it that way. But I think for all of my beginner students, I always teach the top teeth, because if you don't do that, it tends to be very out of tune and very wobbly. You know that sound when a beginner plays and it's because I give my students, it's called the wiggle test. I wiggle their clarinet to make sure their teeth are on top. Hear how much stronger that is? Versus, right? Okay. But if the double lip works for you, that's fine. Let's see. And Caleb is saying it's very crucial. Yeah, I agree. So Sam, all right. I would say the teeth on top, I wouldn't call it biting as much, because if you think of the word bite, people think of like really crunching down. And that's not good, because what that does is that closes off the reed and you don't get a good full sound. It's I would say firm. The teeth are firmly placed on top. Some people call it biting, but firmly placed on top just to keep the mouthpiece from wobbling. But again, some people do use the double lip and it works for them. Yep, Caleb, thank you for that. I'm with you on that. Oh, see, Caleb is like predicting all of my responses. Okay. Hello, Lewis is here. Lewis, haven't seen you in a couple weeks. Good to see you. Thank you, Ronaldo. Hey, Teresa checked in. I surprised my I surprised my YouTube crew, production crew, by telling them I was going on early today. And so Joe and Dennis are not able to be here, but Teresa is here helping us out. So, yeah, guys, don't be shy. Pop in more questions and requests. I guess because I'm on early today, we have fewer comments and requests, but that's okay. Let's see. Yakety Yak on clarinet. I think it's Yakety. Isn't it Yakety sax? Let's look it up. I'll do a new YouTube. Yakety Yak. Oh, no, Yakety sax or Yakety Yak. Or is Yakety sax? Was that like a takeoff of Yakety Yak? I don't know. I should know these things. All right, this is Yakety sax. Let's listen to this. Oh. I don't know if I could play this. How is that, guys? Is that too loud or is that loud enough? Bump, bump. Yeah. All right. I'm gonna have to Google this one because I could take the time to figure it out, but that's just going to take me a while. So let me just look up Yakety sax sheet music. Right? You know how we just Google sheet music, and you can usually find it somewhere. But to find it on clarinet, well, you know what? It's on tenor sax. So if you play it on clarinet, it's the same key. So here we go. Check this out. I'm going to play along with this video I just found. Very conveniently. Look at that. It's got the sheet music. Is it the key? Oh, that doesn't seem right. Oh, it's in A major. All right, let me see if I survive this, guys, okay? Here we go. Ah. Oh, boy, sorry about this. There we go. I think that's enough of that because I'm kind of messing that up. So there you go. That was fun. All right, let's go to some more here. Mia Ann says, I went to the homecoming game. Monsignor Pace High School. All right. Yeah, a lot of schools are having their homecoming. Our homecoming is maybe a little late this year. It's not for 2 more weeks. It's at the end of October, and it's going to be a lot of fun. The band, we march we have a homecoming parade that goes down our school driveway, and we have all the parade floats of the different, the junior class, the freshmen, sophomore, juniors, and seniors. The band performs. It's very, very cool. And Lewis, okay, going back to talking about the alto clarinet, the bass clarinet. Yeah, the contra alto. So there is also an alto clarinet. So you guys know a lot of these woodwind families a lot of these woodwind instruments have what we call families, where they have different size of the same instrument that are sort of pitched in the same way that the human voice, the choir, has soprano, alto, tenor, bass, and various ones in between. Human voice doesn't really have a contrabass because we can't sing an octave lower. But clarinet has soprano, has alto, which is in the key of E flat, and then there's bass, and there's contralto, which is an octave lower than the alto clarinet. So that's a lot of interesting stuff there. If you guys go to Google and look up clarinet choir, you'll find some cool stuff. All right. I like seeing you guys chat with each other, have nice conversations in the chat. That's awesome. And Dulce is, can you use a plastic reed? Yes. So we've talked about plastic reeds before. Has anyone out there ever used a plastic reed? So plastic reeds are exactly what they sound like. They are reeds, but they're made not out of a traditional material. Traditional reeds are made out of cane, which is like a type of bamboo shoot that they cut down and trim it. So it's a natural material. That's the word I was looking for. Look, I'm going to switch to zoom cam. So this is my tenor sax reed. Okay, this is made out of cane. You can get plastic reeds. I don't know if I have any. When you use plastic reeds, there's sort of a trade-off. Okay, so plastic reeds have pros and cons. The pros are that they are very consistent, meaning when you play from day to day, you don't even have to wet them like a traditional reed. They just you put on a plastic reed and it plays the same way every time, which is a plus. But you kind of lose a certain warmth and complexity to the tone, so it gets more of a sort of a what's the word? You lose the warmth and complexity. You get sort of a more I'm searching for a term. Anyway, you lose something in the tone that some people don't like. So maybe they're good for applications where you're not going for as much subtle sound quality. But anyway, I'm rambling a little bit. I prefer traditional reeds, okay? Okay. Hey Baby on the alto saxophone. I can do that. This is one of the favorite ones that we play in our high school band. And Christine said, that sounded great. Thank you. Yeah, I'm always like a little paranoid about the sound balance on these live streams because I play with it. I play around with it. I have my microphone, and I like to get the sound right so the background music isn't too loud and I'm not too loud or soft or whatever. Okay, here we go. This is Hey Baby. We love our students love this in marching band. A bridge, which I'd have to remember. I don't remember how it goes. But anyway, that's the main part. We sometimes in band we play that short version, like just that. And then I really love when we play the full version where we get to there's a full arrangement that's classic for marching band. It's a lot of fun to play. Caleb, I want to switch to saxophone, but I'm not sure. Oh, okay. If I want to do tenor or alto. So Caleb, couple of questions for that. Of course, I have my coffee today, guys. Me and my coffee. I love my coffee in the morning and then pretty much all day. So the questions would be, Caleb, what are you in a school band program? And if you are, I would recommend you talk to your band director, who your band director is going to be next year, and find out if they have a particular need in the band, because I was talking to my students about balance in a school band. When we have a school band, we want to have the right proportions of different instruments. It's like having a sports team, an athletic team. You have a certain number of people on offense, a certain number of people on defense. You might have a quarterback. You might have a wide receiver. You might have whatever sport you want to think about. It's just like in a band. You want to have a certain number of clarinets. You want to have a certain number of bass clarinets. Alto saxophone, tenor saxophone, baritone sax, percussion, trumpet, French horn. I won't name all the instruments, but you get the idea. So maybe your high school band needs a tenor sax, and so maybe your director will say, why don't you play tenor sax? The good news is when you switch, all the saxophones have the same exact fingering and very similar embouchure, so it's really no problem to switch from one sax to the other, okay? Now, I do want to say hi to Nancy. And Nancy, I did get your email, and I do want to reply to you. Nancy, you had asked about I think you asked about violin classes, and I don't have any violin classes, so I'll get back to you, and maybe I can give you some guidance on your question. Okay, but feel free to ask me any questions here in the chat. Let's see, Jane. Let's get Jane Bug in here first. My music teacher mentions you all the time. Well, that's cool, Jane. You seem like a new name here on the live stream, so let me know if you've watched before, and maybe let me know. Oh, I see a question in here too. Cool. So yeah, feel free to ask me questions, and maybe let me know what instrument you play and how long you've been playing. I always like to learn these things. So we want to say hi to Mr. Zebra. How do you do? And Lewis is giving some advice to our question earlier, suggesting suggesting alto. That's easier to get a good sound on. I'm okay with that. I think if you are making the switch, I think if you really want to play tenor, you could do that one too. There's not that much difference, in my opinion, between the two. Jane Bug. Okay. What is my favorite instrument to teach and why? This might be the first time I've gotten this question, believe it or not. You know, Jane, I'm going to take I'm going to be boring, and I'm going to say I really can't choose, because I think I enjoy teaching all the instruments pretty much equally, because what matters to me when I teach is I just enjoy teaching music and teaching band, and the exact instrument that I'm teaching, I don't have a favorite or a least favorite. I will say there are differences in how much expertise I feel that I have. Like if someone was going to come to me for a clarinet lesson or a flute lesson or a sax lesson, I feel like I'm a total expert on that. And then depending on the instrument, like if someone wanted a violin lesson, I don't have as much expertise on violin, cello, viola, because I didn't study those instruments as much as the band instruments. So there's somewhat of an answer to your question. Okay, Caleb says, my school band, you get to choose between clarinet. Oh, I see. Right, so they start off a lot of schools do it this way. A lot of schools start off beginners where you can't play saxophone, you have to play clarinet. And then if you want to make the switch to saxophone later, you can. And you know, the reason a lot of schools do that is because, honestly, they're trying to manage the balance of the band. A school band really shouldn't have more saxophones than clarinets. There should be more clarinets and just a smaller number of saxophones for the proper sound, right? And so sometimes they try to keep things balanced by doing it that way. Oh, Lewis, yeah. So one of the coolest, let's watch some of this, okay? After you've gone. So I was actually just talking to a friend of mine, actually a former student who came by to visit the school, and he's now a jazz major. And we were talking about this video. And one of the coolest things, I'm going to switch over. One of the coolest things to come out of the shutdown, the pandemic, were some of these really great live streams that started happening. And this one by Emmett Cohen, who's the piano player right here, he started doing these live streams of jazz performances from, I don't know where, his apartment or somewhere. And he just brings on the most amazing guest musicians. And the quality of these live streams is so good, the music. I've talked to you guys about likes and dislikes before. It's just so ridiculous to me that that 63 people just dislike things just to be, I don't know why. This video is so good. I don't know how you could dislike it, but let's watch some of it. Let's watch some of the sax solo. This is an old jazz standard. Can you guys hear okay? Ooh, that's called a solo break, when the rhythm section stops for a couple measures, and the horn player or someone fills in the space with solo. I love this video. Woo! This is scary, guys. This is scary good. I'm gonna zoom in. There's another solo break. Anyway. I could sit here and watch this for the next however many minutes, but you guys should check that out. It's really one of the best jazz videos recently. Okay, let's get to, before we talk about me doing backflips, let's go to this request. National Anthem on trumpet. Sure. I have my trumpet down here. By the way, you can access, if you want to play the Star Spangled Banner, where do I have it here? Look here, Dr. Selfridge Music, and it's on Livestream Band, and you go down to Star Spangled Banner. Let me go ahead and put this in. I know there's double Dr. Selfridge right now. I'm going to put this in the chat. This is the Star Spangled Banner, okay? All right, so we're going to click on trumpet. You can click on your instrument. And this is an arrangement you can do with yourself, and you could just do a solo, do the top line as a solo, it's the melody. Or if you have someone you're performing with, you can double it up and have someone do the harmony or the bass line, or all three. So here we go. This gets up pretty high. I'm not warmed up at all. Lewis, I see your comment about that. Yeah, jazz videos, videos of amazing players, I either get inspired or I'm like, oh geez, I should just stop playing, because but you have to fight that that instinct and think, okay, I just got to keep practicing and I can be as good as that, or I can try to get close to that person that I admire. Okay, here we go. Drum roll. 1, 2. I'm going to take this part down the octave. It gets a little bit high for me, okay? See how we give you two options here, high notes or low notes? When you see this, these doubles, it means pick either the high or the low. I'm going to play the low. Fermata. Now, this little bit, I took down the octave. I could probably play up to the high G if I really, sometimes. That G is kind of like the top of my trumpet range. Again, because I don't practice trumpet every day. If you practice trumpet every day, you could certainly get that range, okay? Okay, let's keep moving here. Back to here. So Jane Bug has been playing the flute for about 2 months. That's very exciting. So you're just getting started on your band journey. Make sure you stick with it. Right? It's this part, the first couple of months is probably the hardest part, where you're getting the hang of getting a sound. Caleb, do I know? Oh, he's asking. Me. Do I know someone named Christine Tragus? She's my band director. I don't know Christine or Mrs. Tragus, but there's a lot of band directors out there in the world. Caleb, whereabouts? You don't have to give us a specific school or town, but whereabout in the country are you? What state? Okay, Arabella says hello. Hi. All right, Nicole, which is better instrument, flute or clarinet? Well, you could start quite a debate on this one. Again, I'm going to be kind of lame, and I'm just going to say I think they're both equally great instruments. They each have their own quality. Flute has a beautiful, silvery, ringing tone. Clarinet has a very beautiful, can get a very sort of dark, woody sound. It can play very nice low notes. And they all have their different repertoire. So if you're trying to decide which one to do, I would just say go listen to some recordings of people playing flute and clarinet and see which one appeals to you. Now, Shrek. I can honestly say I don't know if I've ever done a backflip in my life. So I hate to disappoint you there. Sorry, Caleb. Not going to happen. Although I did play, I'm somewhat athletic at times. I did play, we had, let me show you guys this. You guys want to see some stuff from our band Instagram? I upload stuff to my high school band's Instagram, and also I have two students who are sort of our Instagram managers. So check it out. Our trumpet section has a tradition of having like a tennis tournament. So they had this tennis tournament it's very informal. They make up these brackets and they have this one-on-one competitions. There's our winners of the tennis tournament. So there we go. We had a good time, and there's a picture of me playing. Look at that. I mean, how amazing is that? That's me playing tennis. I forgot to wear like my tennis clothes because I forgot it was happening. So I'm wearing like a dress shirt, but that's okay. All right. So, yep, Lewis, I was talking about that earlier. Tyann, are you asking me for advice? Either, some people recommend starting on clarinet because, all right, I'm going to go out on a limb here. Playing clarinet is actually a little bit harder than playing saxophone. I don't want to offend anyone out there. I'm a saxophone player, but clarinet's a little bit more of a challenge, and it's actually good to start on clarinet because you get used to that challenge of covering the tone holes. And then when you add saxophone or switch to saxophone, it's an easier transition. All right, we're going to go about 10 more minutes, guys. So thank you so much for being here. I'm going to try to get to as many questions as I can. So let's keep zooming through here. Pink Panther on flute, I can do that. You guys are asking a lot of good requests, especially because I've got these on my website, and so you can play along too. This Pink Panther is going to be in jazz. So let me go to jazz live stream, and I'm going to put the link on the screen. It's in my packet called Jazz at the Movies. So let me pop this in the chat as well. There it is. And now let's go to Jazz at the Movies. And let's open up C instruments, high octave or low octave. I'm going to go high octave. Where's Pink Panther? Here it is. It's the second one. Pink Panther, if you guys would like to play, I'm just going to take the comment off the screen so you guys can see. Here we go. And you can try to play along if you like. Just click on your instrument. And we're going to skip all those rests, okay? We'll start right at the C sharp, the first note. 1, 2, 3, 4. Pink Panther. That's a fun song. Did I ever tell you guys a story? I don't know. this is kind of a random story, but there's an NPR, there's a show on the radio called, what's it called? This American Life? Anyway, there was a story about this guy who was teaching himself how to play saxophone, and his neighbor next door. There's this whole story. But anyway, the funny part was the whole beginning of the story was the guy was teaching himself how to play the Pink Panther using a YouTube video, and I'm pretty sure he was using my YouTube video. They didn't mention me though, unfortunately. You know, would have been a nice little commercial. But I could tell he was using my video because he was learning it in the key that I teach it in. Anyway, fun story. All right, yeah, you guys can go see Mr. Zebra's YouTube channel. I allow a little. Speaking of commercials, Caleb is in Tennessee. All right, well, Caleb, tell your teacher I said hello, and your teacher can feel free to reach out to me. By the way, guys, if you do need to reach out to me, here is how you reach me. There's my social media stuff and my email. All right, YouTube, Instagram, Dr. Selfridge Music. Let's get to some more. This screen will be up at the end. Hello. This screen will be up at the end when I finish the show. So here we go. Harry Potter fan is saying hello. We have about, I don't know, a couple minutes left, guys, and I have to get going to my band thing. Thank you, MB. Love the anthem with the trumpet, my son. Okay, cool. MB, say hello to your son for me, and let me know if your son has any trumpet questions. All right, Josh C., Jurassic Park or Harry Potter? I thank you for giving me the options there. I'll do Jurassic Park. Jurassic Park. I think I might have that on sheet music somewhere. Lewis, when I look back at how long, when I look back at how long I've been a musician and see other people just starting, do I feel nostalgic? Yeah, I do, because I can still remember. When I think back on memories of being little, I have certain memories that are very vivid, and one of them is the very first time I got my clarinet, my rental clarinet, because I was starting band in 5th grade. And I opened up the case and I lifted up, and the smell of the brand new clarinet and the cork grease and the reed, it's just very, very vivid in my mind. So I want to give a shout out and encouragement to everyone who's just starting on an instrument. It's very exciting. A lot of amazing things you'll get to do if you stay with the band. Caleb, when you play clarinet, you have to keep your cheeks sucked in, or for a nice tight embouchure. Yeah, I say to my students, you keep your cheeks glued to your teeth, glued down, so all the air goes through the middle, the mouthpiece. If you puff your cheeks out, your air is getting wasted in your cheeks, and you don't have the control that you need. Let's try to really run through these comments so we can wrap up, which you do have to wrap up soon. Yes, you do have to have a tight embouchure. Oh, do you? I actually think the embouchure between clarinet and sax is similar. It's slightly different. Clarinet is more of a shiny, stretched out bottom lip, so it's more of a straight across embouchure. Saxophone is more of an O, and your bottom lip should be wrinkled underneath, not your chin. Your chin is actually smooth on both, but it's the bottom lip is more of an O on saxophone. Oh, I just did Pink Panther. All right, real quick. version. Can I play clarinet solo? Wait, what? Can I play the clarinet with a saxophone solo, like watch a video of a saxophone playing itself? Oh. Oh, I can. I could do that. Do you have a song in mind? I could do that. What is the key for reaching the high note on the trumpet? Okay. This is a great question. So this is for MB's son. All right, so getting your notes higher on the trumpet, it's the firmness, the strength. You basically want to strengthen up your lip muscles, your corners and your lip muscles. And that comes from practicing every day. It's like lifting weights. You can't just go into a weight room without any practice and just lift a 150-pound weight, right? You have to build up your muscles. It's the same thing here. So everyday practice and be patient. Use a proper embouchure. Your son's teacher probably taught them something like this. Like you say the letter M, you firm your corners. Buzzing on the mouthpiece is very helpful. Going for a steady note, okay? Steady note. If your sound is kind of weak, like this, you're not blowing hard enough. And practice making your buzz go up and down like a siren. Or like a motor getting faster, like a speedboat. That's really strong air going faster and faster. Then we go here and we try for low high. All those things I talked about. Plus we can also think about the inside of our mouth. The way your tongue is inside your mouth helps too. If you think of this saying ah, your tongue is flat. That's going to be more for low notes. If you think of saying the sound E, your tongue comes up in the back, and that's going to be more for high notes. Ah, E, ah. It takes a lot of practice, so just stick with it. Okay, I think I have a video about that. Pink Panther. We are out of time here, so I'm going to see if we can get to. Caleb says Pink Panther on clarinet. Wait, let's get back to Tyan's Uptown Funk. Okay. All right. Well, here's what we're going to do. Caleb, if you go to that link I put for Pink, did I do I put the link in. It's Jazz at the Movies. I'm pretty sure I have a link there for clarinet for Pink Panther. Dan the Wolf, are you asking me what instrument do I play? My primary instrument is saxophone, alto sax, tenor sax, but I also play clarinet, flute, and I have, you know, some skills as a teacher on other instruments to teach, like trumpet. The high C out on clarinet. Josh, do you mean, or I'm sorry, Caleb, do you mean this one up here? Or this one? This one is hard, is a challenge, I should say, because you have to cover up all the holes and not have any air leaking out and make sure you're not hitting any side keys by accident. So that's the secret to that. If you're having trouble with the high C, you need to make sure you're using strong enough air and your reed is strong enough. If you're on you should have at least a number 3 reed. If your reed is any softer, you're going to have trouble with the reed closing up on the high notes. Josh C is saying thank you for Star Wars. Josh, you're welcome. Thanks for watching. And Dan is asking if anyone plays bass clarinet. I play bass clarinet. I just don't have one with me. All right, why don't we finish with Tyan's request. All right, Tyan, you wanted me to play clarinet with a sax video. Is that what you were saying? So I'm going to use, well, I know a good video of a sax player playing Uptown Funk, and that's me. So this is actually one of my top hit videos, Uptown Funk sax. Let's see what happens. Here we go. There I am. So I'm going to skip the tutorial. Look at how young I am. 2015. All right, let's go to the, here we go. Now I'm going to play the full song for you, and if you want to, you can try to play along with me. Here we go. Do I look the same? Let's see if I can do this. Sorry. been a while since I've done this. Here we go. Go.
So there you go. That's Uptown Funk.
So there you go. That's Dr. Selfridge 6 years ago. 5 years ago. 5 years ago? 6 years ago. Okay. Well, everybody, I think that's just about going to do it for today. Thank you so much for being here. We went early today, so I apologize for those of you who are going to be tuning in this afternoon and not seeing me. But we are usually here at 3 o'clock Eastern time every day, which would be whatever time it is where you are now. I'm usually on 2 o'clock, 2 hours from right now, wherever you are. But thank you for being here. Tyann, you are welcome. And you know what? Before I go, I just want to help out Lil Plays Roblox. Trouble getting a steady note on the flute. Here's the last thing I'm going to say today, right? Here's your quick help for this. The biggest challenge that kids or people who, I don't know if you're younger or older, but the biggest challenge people have for beginner flute is they have trouble getting a sound because you're probably letting out too much air from your lips. We should not think about blowing a hole like that's too big, too much air. Lips together, say M. Try it, M. And then just push air. Strong air, but push air through the middle of your lips like the air is breaking out the middle of your lips, like starting with the sound of the letter P, like this. But don't let all your lips open, just here. And don't tight your lips like this. They should be relaxed, but closed. Then you just try to aim that airstream. Can you make the airstream last for a long time? Aim that airstream right at the exact angle down over the tone hole. If you aim too high, it just goes straight out. It doesn't hit here. If you aim too low, it goes in the hole straight down. And we don't want that. Your air is supposed to go across the hole and hit the edge. So practice that, okay? And come back next week, and we'll do more with that. Okay, everybody, thanks so much for watching. And Christine says, thank you, Christine, Tom. Thank you. Appreciate it. And thank you, everyone, for tuning in today. We had a great show. 3 hours earlier than we usually do. But thank you for being here. And as usual, when you guys see the ending screen, when I go to the ending screen, you can see how to reach out to me and follow me on Instagram, if you do Instagram and Facebook, things like that, and send me an email if you want to. All right, everybody, practice a lot this week. Have a great week at school or work or whatever you do, and come back next week. It'll be at 3 p.m. Eastern Time, and tell your friends. Okay, bye, everyone. Have a great week.